Well, the rain continues to fall, but we have football in our sights right now, and folks who vacated their seats not so long ago slowly making their way back, and they're willing to take on a little rain for week 3 of this NFL season. Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Bruce Arians, and Melanie Collins, we are glad that you withstood the delay and joined us. Let's talk about what gets to be important in this 3rd week, because everybody talks about week 3 of the preseason.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you want to win your starters versus your starters. You came here to win tonight, and you want to see your starters win the football game. And the other thing is you want to play smart situational football. You spend so much time on situational football in the spring and your training camp that you want to make sure you play smart situational football. And then you want to play harder than the other guys, but you got to stay healthy. You want to come out healthy, but you can't fear injuries. You got to go out and play hard tonight.
Coin, Tampa Bay insignia is heads. NFL shield is tails. Detroit, it's your call.
Coin toss taking place at
heads.
midfield. Our referee is Craig Rolstad tonight.
Tampa, you won the toss. You'd like to receive. You'd like to kick that way. Stay where you are. Tampa will receive to start the ball game.
So the Bucs win the toss, and they'll get their hands on the football first. What kind of coach were you with the coin toss? What'd you do?
I always wanted the football. We wanted our offense. We wanted to attack right off the bat. And, unless my quarterback told me we wanted to defer, that doesn't happen very often.
I was going to say, when it was my choice, the coaches told me, I said, I want the ball first. I want to get out there and score and set the tone for the game. And it didn't always go. I always wanted the ball first.
No. You get the choice.
I didn't say you always listen to me. I said that's what I would prefer. Sometimes he listened, sometimes he didn't.
Now, when we were down to our second and 13 quarterbacks, we deferred a lot.
So a light rain continues to fall. Tampa Bay winners their first 2 weeks of this preseason. 26-24 at Miami, 30-14 at Tennessee. Meanwhile, Detroit looking for its first preseason win of this year. They were losers 16-10 at Oakland and lost to the New York Giants in Detroit by a score of 30-17. Number 38, Sean Wilson, is deep for the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Greg, the thing you have to remember, this is still the preseason. So even though you're approaching this 3rd preseason game from a game planning standpoint and from a preparation standpoint, and you're obviously going to have the starters play longer than they normally do, they're still going to stay pretty vanilla offensively and defensively. You don't want to give away some of the things you're going to be using in week 1 or week 2. Give your opponents any kind of indication. So even though that's the idea is a regular season starter, but it's not going to happen with everything tonight.
Sean Wilson will take this at the 3. Ducks to the outside, turns the corner, across the 30 and out to about the 32, 33-yard line.
Yeah, that's the first sight of our new kickoff rules, with everybody standing at the 35 and not getting the running start. And you're going to see a lot more returns this year, and I think that's a great play in football. I hate to see the kickoff return get out of the football game because it's so exciting.
So here's Ryan Fitzpatrick. And as we were discussing a short while ago, the ideal backup, and he has been an effective starter when he has gotten that opportunity. Peyton Barber squeezes through a hole off right tackle and up close to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, both of these teams really got to set up a running game. They both they got to run the football this year, especially when Fitz is playing quarterback. Ryan needs a good running game.
And that's the thing we talked to both coaches about. They want to establish some kind of running game. And with these conditions, with the rain we've had for the last hour, the delay of the start of this, you would think that's what both teams are going to do early on.
Tampa Bay, 27th in the league in running the football last year. Barber on the ground again. Diving for a first down and looks like about a yard short at the 43-yard line.
Tampa, with all these injuries they have in their offensive line, they're going to need to run the football. But nobody's happier for that rain tonight than our left guard, who's now starting at left tackle. And he's going to slow the pass rush down for him. He's really happy.
For our viewers, want to just point out the starting lineups at the bottom of your screen. And we're looking at a 3rd and 1.
Hey, triple, Mike 3-2, Mike 3-2. Ready.
Barber still in the backfield. The pitch for him Goes looking for a first down and has it across midfield and into Detroit territory to about the 48-yard line.
That was incredible vision by Barber as he's supposed to attack it more inside, but because of the pressure of the defensive line, he has to bounce it outside. Good blocking on the outside, keeping those blocks in place. You see how he started inside and then he was able to bounce it outside and pick up the first down.
Yeah, really good down. If you're Matt Patricia, you're a little upset right now. They come out and run the ball on you and get a first down. You want to get 3 and out.
3 straight plays, 3 straight runs, and they pick up the first down. Not what you wanted.
Not what you want on defense.
Movement up front, but no flags fly. And Fitzpatrick throws far side of the field. That is complete. And out of bounds at about the 40-yard line is Deshaun Jackson.
And I always think, Trent, if you could throw a wet football, you have such an advantage on offense because the pass rush is going to slow down on the wet field. If the quarterback can throw a wet football, you'd like to have it rain every game.
Well, and that's the thing. You mentioned the fact of how many offensive line, how many starters are out on the offensive line for Tampa Bay. So if you're Detroit, you're thinking, okay, we're going to get after the quarterback tonight, but with the slippery conditions, is that going to slow him down some? Is that going to affect it? And you want to try and run the football, which Tampa has done up until this point.
Fitzpatrick straight back, and that pass is complete inside the 25 to the 23-yard line to tight end O.J. Howard, and that's a first down.
O.J. Howard's on the right. He's just going to work his seam up here. Fitzpatrick just dropping back. That ball comes out a little slippery. You can see his eyes looking over to the left, and that's what the linebacker was drawn that way. See how the ball comes out a little bit slippery, a little bit of a tail, a little bit high and behind, but incredible catch there by Howard to haul it in for the first down.
From the 23, Fitzpatrick throwing inside the 20, complete to about the 16-yard line. Chris Godwin, and everybody has been talking about Chris Godwin.
They are really, Jason Light, everybody at the Tampa organization is really high on Chris Godwin. They think he is real professional for a young player.
Well, and you think about the other receivers, so you got Deshaun Jackson, who we've already mentioned, Mike Evans on the other side. You had Godwin to the mix. All of a sudden, that's some more weapons to try and open up the field, get that run game going, but also create one-on-ones for everybody out in the field.
Hey, easy, easy, easy. Let's go. Green rubber, green
On
rubber.
second
Where's
down.
the mic? Green rubber, Sunday, Sunday. Here we go.
And they go right back to Pinky Barber. Good cut back inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line.
That was a great audible by Fitz right there. He saw the safety cheating over the top of Mike Evans because they're in Mike Evans' territory right now. And he did a great job of autoing to the run back to the right side where they were a little short-handed.
Well, and that's why they should be able to get the run game going more. When you have a defense that is going to double team your main red zone receiver like that, that's eliminating a guy from the box. So good job by Fitz recognizing that, running to the right away from that double coverage.
So Fitzpatrick and the Bucs looking at a 3rd and 1. 8th play of this drive. Barber again. Has the first down, has a touchdown.
Excellent vision by Barber as he gets into the end zone. He finds a crease to the right. So he's going to work over here and get up here. But watch the linebackers as they shoot up there. Jared Davis is going to have a free shot at him in the backfield. And Barber just sidesteps him, makes him miss. And there's nobody to the outside as he takes it into the end zone.
Yeah, Jared Davis is an excellent tackler. He doesn't usually leave his feet that soon. That was a bad mistake on his part.
Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And it's good. The Tampa Bay Bucs take the opening kickoff 66 yards in just over 4.5 minutes and grab a 7-0 lead.
I relate to the berries.
Peyton Barber was the man on that opening drive. 5 carries for 34 yards, including the 14-yard touchdown run, and he got a mighty nice block on his way to the end zone, Coach.
Yeah, really excellent job of zone blocking by Anthony Auclair here. third string tight end and getting a great opportunity tonight. Did a good job of holding off that tackle, then stepping back out on the outside linebacker. Really good job.
And I even like the pancake that DeMar Dotson, the right tackle. He was able to seal it to the inside and finish him into the ground. If you're Matt Patricia, you're not happy with that opening series because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to drive right down the field for the touchdown.
Yeah, George Whitehouse, the offensive line coach, did a great job of getting those guys ready. Right? These are not their starters.
Amir Abdullah will not bring it out of the end zone, and the Lions will begin at their own 25-yard line. And we've been heaping a lot of praise on Matthew Stafford leading up to this game, and why not? He's durable, 115 consecutive starts. You see his numbers there from last year, over 4,400 yards passing and 29 touchdowns, and he can throw it from everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. He can make any throw. He can work his way outside the pocket. He's mobile enough to do that, make a throw on the run. He can stand in. We all know about his big arm. He can fire it down the field, and that's what makes him so special. And you mentioned the fact he's been able to stay healthy and have that longevity.
LeGarrette Blount, the only back behind Stafford, and he gets the handoff, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He spent 3 years there, and once again, we'll remind you at the bottom of the screen, you'll be able to see starting lineups. What do you think about LeGarrette Blount as a pickup for this team?
I think he's outstanding. You know, he's been on the last three Super Bowl winning teams. Right. So you get him, you think you got a chance, but he's a pounder. I mean, he brings it every down.
The rookie Kerryon Johnson is now in the backfield and comes in motion to the near side on 2nd and 7. Stafford, quick pass, that's a complete first down, close to the 40-yard line. Golden Tate, his receiver.
Yeah, that's an interesting little option route by Golden Tate, because that's normally Theo Riddick's job in the slot. They don't usually see Golden Tate in the slot. Going to a little hurry up.
Johnson still in the backfield. The pass to the far side, and there's another completion for Stafford at midfield. And spinning out of bounds just across the midfield line is Marvin Jones Jr.
Well, Stafford takes a shot on that one and goes down to the field. Not something that you want to see if you're the Lions coaching staff, but he was able to put that ball right on the money and pick up another first down, keep this drive going.
Yeah, that defensive line, the Tampa Bay has done a great job of adding some fantastic players, Super Bowl type players, JPP especially.
Well, they needed up front too. Only 22 sacks last season. That was the lowest number in the National Football League. On first down, the play fake to Blount. Stafford on the move, going to keep it and run it out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage.
Something a little new for Detroit. I haven't seen them in a 3 tight end jumbo set in a long time. They go with the play action pass, trying to get one down the field.
That's what I was going to say. They went the 3 tight ends to try and get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come in tight, go one-on-one to the outside to Marvin Jones. The problem is Tampa Bay didn't fall for it. They kept the safety deep. He had double coverage on him. Stafford made an excellent decision not trying to force it downfield.
2nd and 10. Blount, left side, finds a little hole inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line, where he is brought down by Vernon Hargreaves, the 3rd-year cornerback out of Florida.
Well, the thing that amazes me about Blount is his size and his power, but watch the quick step he makes here. He just jumps over to the other hole, and here he tries to jump. He is tackled around the legs, but I've been impressed throughout his entire career because of his size. You think he's only going to run downhill and with power, but instead he shows finesse in his game as well.
Here's a 3rd and 3. Stafford on the move, going to throw it deep, has a man wide open at the 20. It is complete to the 10, down close to the 5-yard line, Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, totally busted coverage. I mean, they tried to run a little rub route, and they passed it off.
Tate on the inside is going here. He's going to have a wheel route and a flat route. They just lost coverage. They were in a bunch formation. They just did a change release. What happened is the communication was lost by the Buccaneers, and that's what you're trying to do. You're actually trying to get the flat for the first down or get Golden Tate on the inside for the first down. Instead, they lose the receiver up the field, and you got a big gain, 1st and goal.
Marked out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Blount in the backfield. Blount with the football, and he'll get stacked up for little or no gain. They may mark his progress to the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, if you're Tampa Bay right now, you want to bow up. You don't want to let these guys run the football in. Not like Detroit did to them, but you got to bow up, not make them throw this football in the end zone.
You mentioned the guys they got up front defensively that they went out and got in free agency to try and shore up that defensive line. This is where you got to dig your cleats in and hold them out.
You just saw one of those guys, Jarrell Worthy, 4th-year man out of Michigan. Stafford for Blunt again, and again stacked up, and we have a flag down on the far side of the field as he gets pushed back.
Great penetration by Jared McCoy right there. What a heck of a player. He's one of the best D linemen in the league, and he is in the perfect defense for him, the penetrating 3 technique.
Well, that's the thing about him. He's so big, but he's so athletic. He's able to get in the backfield, and you look at the sacks he's had throughout his career. He definitely disrupts things in the backfield.
Here's Craig Rolstad.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 11 covered up the eligible receiver. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is 3rd down.
That's an expression that you can relate to, Coach, right? When it's a mental error, when you're down inside the 10-yard line, it's just frustrating.
And that's the situational football we talked about. And he's a detailed coach. To have an illegal formation in the red zone is inexcusable.
Kerryon Johnson in the backfield. Stafford on the move again, directing traffic. End zone, incomplete.
Excellent communication that time by the Buccaneers. Earlier in the drive, we talked about that bunch formation and the way they were able to create confusion and get an open guy down the field. This time you can see they match up man-to-man. Nobody is left uncovered. That causes Stafford to roll out to his right. Nobody's open. He tries making a tight throw in there, and Tampa Bay keeps him out of the end zone.
Yeah, good pressure off the edge right there. Made him get out of the pocket.
So 24-yard field goal attempt upcoming by Matt Prater. In his 12th season out of Central Florida, the kick is up and good. 5:25 remaining in the first quarter. Tampa Bay with an opening touchdown. Detroit answers with a field goal. We're back to Tampa in a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Bud Light, reminding you to not drink and ride your horse. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Melanie Collins. Tampa Bay leading by a score of 7-3, and the wet conditions have already claimed a Buccaneers player. Sergio Bailey, wide receiver, suffered an ankle injury in warm-ups, and he is out for the game, Greg.
All right, Melanie, thank you. Coach's nightmare, right?
Oh, all the way. I mean, that's part of this thing. When the field gets wet and you have that delay, you don't want anybody getting hurt.
Sean Wilson deep again for the kick. Very short this time. On the run. He picks it up at about the 16 or 17-yard line and brings it back close to the 25.
It's fun this year, Trent. You're going to see more plays on kickoff returns, whether it's offensive kick and different style kicks instead of kicking it in the back of the end zone every time, I think.
Well, and that's the adjustment with the rules. So not only do you have the guys lined up right where the kick is being made and they have no run-up, but then from a return standpoint, you're not allowed to have a wedge. You're not allowed to have multiple blockers together to lead block for the returner. You also have to have 8 of your players within that 15-yard area where you're set up. Your guys can't be back. So those high-speed collisions they're trying to reduce from a safety standpoint, but it is going to make some more lively type returns.
Ronald Jones, the rookie running back out of USC, is alongside Fitzpatrick. He gets the handoff. And he gets a couple out close to the 30-yard line. So Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to start this season as the quarterback. And look at his schedule, the first 3 games that he is going to start at New Orleans, home to Philadelphia, home to Pittsburgh. It's not a cakewalk.
That's not a good first 3-game stretch. But I tell you what, if you can come out of there with some wins, you're facing 3 of the tougher teams in the NFL. And, you have a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick who's been there and done that throughout the league, throughout his career. It makes you feel a little bit better.
Fitzpatrick going to go deep down this sideline, has a man open, and he hit him. That's Ronald Jones, the rookie.
Boy, they've been looking for things for him. They really like this guy out of Southern California. Explosive player in the run and the pass, and that's a great throw by Fitz.
What we used to call a throw like that, Coach? We call that a handoff.
Yes, indeed.
He didn't even have to move. He's just running stride for stride. Didn't have to extend his arms, anything. He just made a little cradle, and Fitz dropped it right in there. That's a 40-yard handoff.
The line of scrimmage now the 34 of the Detroit Lions. Fitzpatrick going to throw the other way this time. That's complete. And out of bounds at about the 25-yard line is Deshaun Jackson. We were talking with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He told us he had a tougher time throwing to Deshaun Jackson than he does to Mike Evans. Why would that be?
Well, because Mike Evans is such a big target. And Deshaun Jackson, in his route running, there's a little bit more shake and a little bit more deception in the way he runs routes, whereas Mike Evans is a big physical. He's going to run his routes a certain way, and because of that size, it makes it a little bit more difficult from a timing standpoint, because Ryan Fitzpatrick honestly doesn't get as many reps with him as Jameis Winston does.
We're good. 40's the mic.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, 5 for 5, throwing for 77 yards, and they give us to Jones. And Jones stacked up at the 27.
I think it's about time for Mike Evans to get in this game. Everybody else has got a ball right now, and I'm sure it's his area of the field that they really want to get him isolated, but that safety keeps cheating over the top, and he keeps all of them back to those runs.
So, go ahead. I just was going to say think about what they do in New England, right? They pick the one player that they're going to shut down and not let them beat you. Maybe that's what they're coming into tonight. They're like, hey, let's not let Mike Evans beat him. Matt Patricia's got an idea and a game plan. Right now, the other guys are beating him, though.
Fitzpatrick pulls it down, getting all kinds of time and throwing to the sideline. And it is complete to O.J. Howard, his second catch of the night. He's out of bounds at about the 22.
Boy, this is a young player that should explode this year. I mean, really bust on the scene. He's got so much talent coming out of Alabama.
I can't say how impressed I am with this offensive line. 3 starters not starting tonight. These backup offensive linemen giving Fitz that much time. He looked right, back left, came all the way back right to pick up the first down.
Oklahoma! 40's the mic. Mike
Jones
40.
in the game once again behind Fitzpatrick. Gets the handoff. Inside the 20. We were talking with Dirk Cutter, who really wasn't real thrilled to talk about the injuries that his team has been hit with, especially up front. So many linemen out, you wonder how can a coach begin to make decisions.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, the other thing you look at is one man's injury is another man's opportunity. And Mike Litke, I mean, he's a guard, and he's starting at left tackle and is doing one heck of a job so far.
They've got 3 left tackles that are injured tonight. So Litke is filling in over there. And so far, as you said, Coach, he's doing a great job.
3 left tackles injured. That's not music for a quarterback series, is it? On 2nd and 7. Fitzpatrick ducks the first one, can't duck the second one, and there is the first sack of this preseason for the Detroit Lions. And Sylvester Williams is the guy who got it.
Yeah, Gerard Davis busted up the middle and looked clean.
Once again, Davis coming up the middle, but Fitzpatrick's able to duck underneath it, but he's not able to avoid the second hit. Little head hunting there by Davis, but can't escape that one.
We were saying at practice yesterday that if the Detroit Lions aren't going to cure their sack woes in this game with so many injured linemen, then they do have a problem.
They really do.
3rd and 14. Fitzpatrick down the sideline. Penalty marker flies. Yeah. And the Lions feel that's an offense. It is.
Yeah, the big guy pushed off right there.
Mike Evans. A couple of players look like they have the wind knocked out of them. And Mike Evans is one of them.
Offense, number 13. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
So the penalty goes against the Bucs. Mike Evans is still down. They'll take a look at him, and we'll take a break. a reminder for you, coming this fall, Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield star in the new CBS comedy The Neighborhood, premiering Mondays this fall on CBS. Trent Mike Evans with the push and then taking the hit.
Well, you're going to see the route down the right sideline. He and Slay are battling back and forth. You see the arms extend. He pushes Slay away. The hit comes in by Diggs. It's a clean hit. I tell you what, you think these helmet rules and some of the rules about unprotected players, they're changing the way safeties hit. I remember just a few years ago, that was a blow-up shot that would be a 15-yard penalty. Now you can see the way Diggs approached it. He used that right forearm, used the right shoulder, made sure that he didn't use the crown of his helmet, and that's how the rules have affected the game.
Yeah, that was an excellent play by Diggs.
Chris Godwin onto the field for Tampa Bay. He's number 12. 3rd and 24.
Hey, express! Here we go.
Patrick on the run, throws, got rid of it out of bounds.
Well, you'd like to just got a check down there or something. The pressure got him out of the pocket. Just get in the field goal range. It's 3rd and forever. Let's get 6-8 yards and get a field goal.
Well, that's why I was a little bit surprised. The route was a down the field route with only a couple guys underneath. I thought they were just going to try and pick up 5-7 yards, something like that, to get him into makeable field goal range. Instead, they chipped the back on the way out, and then he was running opposite of the way that Fitzpatrick got flushed. So not much to throw there.
Brian Anger, the punter. And Jamal Agnew is deep inside the 10 for the Lions. Anger pops this one up high, hoping to drop it inside the 5, and he does. And it's down at about the 2. Special teams play working well for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Josh Robinson, number 26, down there. Just 12 seconds to play in this first quarter. And already these two teams have combined to score twice as many points as the Eagles and the Browns did last night. A 5-0 game. LeGarrette Blount in the backfield as the Lions operate from their own 2, and Blount adds another yard. And that'll do it for the first quarter as time will wind down. Tampa Bay with a touchdown. The Detroit Lions with a field goal. 7-3 Bucs. As we go to the second quarter, we'll come back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Right after this, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Back in Tampa for the start of the second quarter, as it is a 7-3 lead for Tampa Bay. Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, and Bruce Arians, who now has 15 minutes under his belt in the broadcasting world. You good? Are you going to leave, or are you going to stick around?
I think I'm going to stick around for a little while. Try a little bit longer.
I'll tell you what, with all this rain coming down, he's glad to be in here where he's nice and dry.
There's no doubt about that.
The Lions from their own 3-yard line.
Hey, track 54!
And 2nd and 9. Blount again finds a hole and runs for first down yardage out to about the 12-yard line.
That's huge right there, coming off the goal line. This is one of those situational football things, backed up football. Offensively, you want to get 2 first downs, kick it to the other, and defensively, you want to hold them and get the short field. You get that ball midfield, that's points 80% of the time.
That's a valid point. That's a great point, Coach, because if you don't get it out, like you said, you're punting from the back of the end zone, always get it blocked. On a rainy day, you could drop the football, but now you get some separation from your own goal line. Good job by the interior part of the offensive line creating that lane.
Blount again. Not so much this time in the middle. Brought down at about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, one of the things, they've got to create this running game, and they've got a big, strong offensive line. But really, to have a great running game, your wide receivers have to buy in and block. They did a great job on that play coming off the goal line of Golden Tate, blocking on the inside.
So 2nd and 9 for Matthew Stafford. He figures to play this entire first half. That's surprised by a snap, and that pass is incomplete. The near side of the field intended for Amir Abdullah. Matthew Stafford was not expecting the ball.
Well, and that's what messes up the timing of that throw. That's really why the ball is high. You know, Stafford's in the middle of a cadence. He's lucky this ball hits him in the gut, because if it's somewhere else, in these conditions, it's going to be hard to bring it in with a one-handed catch. So he's late with the football, getting it to the outside. That causes the ball to go high, and Abdullah takes the big hit.
Tampa Bay defensive line trying to cause some problems for Stafford. He's looking at a 3rd and 9. That pass near side, complete and out of bounds across the 25-yard line.
Boy, that was just a great throw. Good pressure by JPP off the edge, too. Matt just stepped up and just nailed it right on the money.
Hakeem Valles, tight end, number 84.
Well, you mentioned JPP coming off of that left edge. Really not a lot of time. That's just a timing throw, but you gotta give credit to Matthew Stafford for placing this to the outside. David, the linebacker, was trying to get there, just not able to get underneath that throw.
Tag 54!
New set of downs for the Lions. This is Amir Abdullah. And a yard at most for the 4th-year running back out of Nebraska. 552 yards led this Lions team in rushing last season.
Well, that was a heck of a hit right there by the Buccaneers and Quan Alexander. Those two guys that they have in the middle, and Alexander and David, they continue to bring pressure.
That pass incomplete, intended for Galladay.
That's a big drop right there. Again, they brought pressures. You're seeing Tampa Bay laid it up a little bit with some pressure now.
You a little surprised by that, Coach?
Yeah,
you try not showing too much in the preseason, but they're bringing it.
They're letting it go tonight. I mean, they're playing to win, that's for sure. Another big 3rd down.
Yep, 3rd and 9. Got to look there at Jason Pierre-Paul. Stafford wheels out of trouble, gets a block, gonna throw it deep, has a man deep. That is incomplete, and penalty markers fly. Intended for T.J. Jones and covered by Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah, the rookie right there panicked. You know, he saw the ball coming and just panicked and didn't get his head around it.
Great athleticism by Stafford there with the spin move as he gets out of the pocket. Then he's directing T.J. Jones down the field. Jones was just working to the sidelines, and Stafford gave him a little point to go deeper as he tries to come back for the ball. Just the contact happens before the ball gets there. Jones was the guy that Stafford talked to us about yesterday, saying that he's really had a presence in camp and has been able to make some plays.
Really likes him.
53-yard pickup on the play, and the Lions now in business at the Tampa 19-yard line. Abdullah in the backfield. Abdullah with the ball. Cuts it back. And is hit hard as he came across the middle. He's down at about the 16-yard line. Chris Conti coming up from his safety position to make the stop.
I don't know about you, Coach, but as soon as I saw that defensive front, they had pressed on the outside to the slot, I thought Stafford was going to check it to a pass. I'm sitting there like, take that inside slot man in man-to-man coverage, take him to the outside release, take him to the corner of the end zone, but they handed the ball off and able to get some yards.
Hey, Willie King! Willie King! Willie King! Damn!
On 2nd and 7, Stafford keeping, throwing, complete to the 10, inside the 10, about the 7-yard line is Levine Toilolo. The ball marked down.
Stafford got a little greedy on that one, Coach. He came out in the bootleg. He had him open right away within the first step, but instead he looked into the end zone. They're trying to get a quick snap here so they don't Oh, they stopped it. Trying to stop the challenge from happening by getting a quick snap, and
every team's got
cut her through quick.
Yeah, good job by the Tampa Bay Bucs getting the word to Dirk that was a fumble.
What is the word that a head coach uses when he wants
play is under review.
What is the word that a head coach uses when he wants the snap now?
Well, we have about 6 different plays.
They'll review it. We'll take a break and come back in just a moment.
Enjoy the story that is
This is the play that's being reviewed. Levine Toilolo hit by Whitehead. The ball comes loose and is recovered by Carlton Davis. The question is, was he down?
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. It'll be first down. Tampa Bay will be charged with the first team timeout.
Well, here's why the play stands. You can see the ball coming out, but his head has already made contact with the ground. So a hand and his head were on the ground before the ball comes loose. It wasn't his forearm, but because of that, that's why it's ruled down, because that head made contact with the ground as the ball's coming out. That's why the rule stayed, or the play stayed the way it was called.
So the Lions maintain control, first and goal. The give is to Abdullah. Nothing to gain on the right side. It'll be second and goal.
You know, it was amazing. Years ago, we had a football camp in Birmingham, Alabama, and Jameis Winston was in it. Amir Abdullah was the star of the camp. It was amazing.
All 5'9" of him, huh?
Oh, what an athlete. And what a family. What a great family.
Abdullah still in there, 5'9", 203. And as we said, Detroit's leading rusher a season ago. Stafford, quick pass, incomplete inside the 5. It'll be third and goal. Vernon Hargreaves batting that away.
Yeah, good job. They're putting Vernon in the slot this year and playing him as a nickel. He's a heck of an athlete to be in there. You know, he's been a #1 pick as a corner, but he can be a great nickel.
And that was great recognition on his part. They did a bunch formation. They tried causing confusion like what happened earlier, and that time Hargreaves just coming off and able to knock the ball away. What looked like was going to be a touchdown.
Theo Riddick now alongside Stafford in the backfield on third and goal. Stafford throwing, end zone corner, and overthrows everybody. Kenny Golladay was there, but appeared to be almost double covered.
That was unusual for Detroit. Theo Riddick is usually the main guy down here when they get him isolated on the backers and the safeties, and they had him chipping.
You've got to be frustrated if you're Matt Patricia and seeing your offense get down inside the 10, first and goal inside the 10, 2 series now, and having to settle for another field goal attempt.
This one from 26 yards. Prater good earlier from 24. And they put 3 more on the board. 10:31 to play in the first half. Detroit pulls to within 1 at 7-6.
Corona Hotline.
City of Tampa, Florida. I want to remind you, the Verizon halftime report upcoming. Our Melanie Collins sits down with Matt Patricia to discuss his thoughts on taking over as head coach of the Lions. And we'll get a golf update from Jim Nance at the Northern Trust, all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. 10.5 to play here in the second quarter. 7-6 Bucks, and Sean Wilson is deep. Wilson at the 3. Right up the middle, breaking it to the outside, across the 25, across the 30. And a pretty good return by Sean Wilson out to about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. And onto the field comes Jameis Winston. Winston will play the second quarter. 3,504 yards last season with 19 touchdowns. We talked with Dirk Cutter about Jameis Winston. It's interesting to hear him say, I challenge Jameis every single day. Every day.
Well, and that's the thing. And Jameis talked to us about getting the opportunity to work with some of the other receivers. He said, listen, I have a great connection with Mike Evans. It's not hard to throw to Mike Evans. Now I'm getting a chance because he is working with some of the 2 wide receivers to get a rhythm with him as well.
But that pass is incomplete behind his intended receiver, Deshaun Jackson, who was well covered. And there's a flag.
Yeah, a little too well covered.
Nevin Lawson was the defender.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 24. That's a 5-yard penalty.
And Nevin Lawson was the offender.
Well, this is going to be pretty clear. You know, they've talked about the officials saying hand checking. They're going to make an issue with bumping after 5 yards. That's always the gray area, is bumping. They're like, yeah, but if they're hand fighting together, then we're not going to call it. That time there, you could see it was a hold, not letting the receiver get separation.
552. 940. Ready. 125.
So first down from the 39-yard line.
Hey, we're good. We're good. 552. Sunday. Where we go?
Winston for Ronald Jones. And Jones gets a couple. You know, as we talked with Jameis Winston, you saw a very calm young man. He looked very determined. You know, you almost get the impression he wants to grow up and he wants to be the guy. He's a brand new dad. He's very proud of that. Wants to be a good father.
Yeah, I think the future is great for him. He's just made a couple of decisions that weren't good in the past. And he's well on his way to being in the right place.
Sunday.
Ronald Jones still in the backfield. Winston going to throw it deep. And that is incomplete. Deshaun Jackson covered by Lawson.
Yeah, Ziggy Ansah got a lot of pressure quick, and Jameis didn't really have time to let that thing develop, and did a good job of getting it out of his hand.
Well, and Ansah was able to come clean because they brought secondary pressure off that left edge. So all of a sudden, instead of being able to double team Ansah to get that chip, now you got to go after the secondary player, and then you get the one-on-ones, and that's exactly what Detroit's looking for with Ansah over there on that edge.
Tampa Bay, 9 offensive plays on the ground, 9 through the air. And a 3rd and 7 facing Winston. Steps up, goes down at about the 36-yard line. Anthony Zettel, the 3rd-year defensive end out of Penn State. So we have a flag.
Holding. Defense, number 32. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Well, there's a costly penalty. The safety, Tavon Wilson.
Well, and it's an automatic. It's 5 yards, but it's an automatic first down, and that's where the frustration has to come in for Matt Patricia. Here they were going to get where they're going to force Tampa Bay to punt the ball. Now all of a sudden you're giving them another first down. You can see with the pressure that Winston's under. We talked to Dirk Cutter. He said, we're rotating quarterbacks differently than we normally would in a 3rd preseason game. We're going to have Fitzpatrick the first quarter, Winston the second quarter, and then our 3rd and 4th quarterbacks in the second half, which isn't normal for a 3rd preseason game.
Rodgers to midfield and to the 49.
Yeah, due to all the injuries in the offensive line, they just can't play those guys long enough and get the snaps they really want to get for them. But again, that penalty, you got 3rd and long, you got a great pass rush, and you know where 5 yards is. You don't put your hands on the guy. That's a bad penalty.
Pick up a 4 on that play. It's 2nd and 6.
Sunday. Here we go.
Winston looking for a completion. Has a man open, and he's got him to the 30-yard line. And just inside the 30, Deshaun Jackson.
Really good job on a blitz pickup right there by the running back, and got the inside fade to Deshaun, which is that's a great throw.
Good pickup by the blockers up front, including the running back getting the blitzing linebacker. Jackson in connection with both quarterbacks, having success with both quarterbacks coming in a year ago. You can see there his average is only 13.4 yards per catch, which was the lowest of his career. But tonight he's making a big impact.
Jackson 3 catches, 36 yards. That one good for 19. Winston sidesteps a rush, throws complete to Rodgers out of the backfield. And the pickup is about 5 to the 25.
Really good movement in the pocket right there by Jameis, slipping that defender and finding that check down. And Jaquez did a great job just getting straight north. Give me 5 yards. That's all you're looking for.
I would think that's a frustrating thing as a coach. I know as a quarterback I always get mad. I'm like, just get the yards. You know, I know you're trying to make the big play, but we need, it's first down completion. Let's get those 4 and 5 yards and set up a good second down.
By the way, Mike Evans, who took a shot earlier in the game, Bucs say he's fine, but he is finished for the night.
No, stop.
Not scheduled to play anymore.
Mike 40, Sunday.
2nd and 5.
Here we go.
Rodgers to about the 21. So it'll be 3rd and 1. There's that beard on Ryan Fitzpatrick we were talking about. He's proud of it too. He said the wife doesn't like it, but I do.
Well, he said as long as he keeps the mustache trimmed, he said, you know, that's all right. It's getting a little unruly, but who knows how long it'll last. He seemed to like it, so.
3rd and 1.
Triple, triple. Mike 40, Mike 40. Ready. Blue ready. What's up?
We'll look to Rodgers to get the yardage, and well, let's see where they mark his forward progress. It'll be right at the sticks at the 20-yard line. Placement will be key. From here, it looks to be a smidge short.
Never quite made it to that line.
Well, that's why I said it's a smidge short.
Looks like Dirk decides to go for this.
It is short, and they will go for it on 4th and inches.
Hey, alert gut. Alert gut. Alert
Check
gut.
with Rodgers. The deep back.
Ready. Blue ready. What's up?
Fake it, and he's going to run for it and get lots of it. Inside the 15, stumbles to about the 14-yard line. He had so much room in front of him. He might have gotten a little excited.
I hope you guys heard. Did you guys hear Jameis right at the snap? He goes, I see you coming, 52. You can pick it up on the mic. So he points right at him, says, I know you're coming. He steps up in the pocket, had some one-on-ones up the field, but then realized instead of trying to make a difficult throw, I'll just take off, run, and pick up the first down.
Yeah, he alerted to the gut. You saw him coming up the gut. He's telling everybody what was happening. Great job.
First down at the 14.
Ready. Blue ready. What's up?
Winston with time, throwing over the middle, and that pass is complete to about the 11. And the catch is made by Adam Humphries.
Well, he's a great young slot. I mean, he does a good job. He's one of those Julian Edelman type guys in the slot, and it's amazing that they're going 4 wides and spreading it out so much with this all these injuries in the offensive line and letting Jameis throw it.
Well, that's why he's been under some heat. He's been under some heat on this drive. A couple defensive penalties have kept the drive alive, and they're taking advantage of it.
Sunday. Ready to go.
On 2nd and 6, going to lob it for the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Chris Godwin.
Really good job on the back shoulder throw. And Chris Godwin, boy, they have been bragging about this guy all day. Yesterday, every coach, Jason Light, they're all talking about him.
6'1", 209 in only his 2nd season out of Penn State, and wins this battle in the end zone.
Well, you can see Winston as he recognizes what's going on. He has man-to-man. He comes out, takes his eyes over to the left to hold the safety in the middle of the field, and then comes back right, throws a back shoulder. Godwin with a good catch coming back for the ball, that back shoulder throw for the touchdown.
Extra point is no good. Catanzaro pushed it to the right, but the touchdown pass goes Jameis Winston to Chris Godwin. 4:10 to play in the first half, and the Bucs lead at 13-6.
What do you mean it's not working?
As you probably know, the NFL on CBS kicks off in 2 weeks. Our Super Bowl season begins. The terrific NFL Today team at noon Eastern time, and then we'll bring you regional action. J.J. Watt in Houston battle Brady and the Patriots. Kansas City heads to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. All of us here in Tampa will be in Cleveland as the Browns take on the Steelers. Coach will be happy to introduce you to people on both sides of the ball there. Check your local listings as your favorite teams and players begin their drive to Super Bowl 53 on CBS. Line drive kick, Amir Abdullah at the 1. And out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Matt Stafford, and here comes Trent Green.
Well, Matthew Stafford a year ago was outstanding on 3rd down. 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. This is one of the touchdowns. He has Marvin Jones double teamed going down the right sideline. And, Coach, This is about trust. When you're a quarterback and you trust the receiver to climb the ladder and able to take it away from 2 defenders, that's why you make that throw. Otherwise, you're not even thinking about a throw like that, but that's the trust he has in Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones second in the NFL a year ago in yards per catch at 18 yards.
Great throw, great catch.
Kerryon Johnson in the backfield with Stafford, and he will get the handoff. And Johnson busts through on the right side, out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, this is a guy that's thrown, Matthew Stafford's thrown for 4,000 yards 7 years in a row. I mean, you talk about consistent, and he shows up every Sunday. He's there every week. And, you know, people forget he leads the league in comeback wins. 8 in one season. That's a lot.
Well, you consider he had some injuries there the first couple of seasons, but now he's been so consistent. You mentioned the yardage over the last 7 seasons.
This is Kerryon Johnson for a little bit. Let's go down to Melanie. Well, when we spoke with Matthew Stafford last night, he said this preseason game 3 this year is different in terms of just trying to figure out the ins and outs of game day with the new coaching staff. It's about finding that comfort level. And how does a game day go with a new head coach? Our stretch routine, our pregame warm-up, where we sit on the sidelines, it's all different.
As it always is with a brand new coach, Stafford goes down.
And just to tag on to what Melanie had to say, and then throwing a 1-hour rain and lightning delay to get into any kind of routine with the new coaching staff. You can see the pocket collapse and Stafford goes down for the sack, bringing up 4th and 10.
William Golston doing the honors. Deshaun Jackson back at his own 25 for the punt. And this one will be returned. Jackson, 35 and out of bounds. So that's where Jameis Winston in the offense will get started. Well, at practice, we have a penalty marker down on the far side of the field.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 35. That's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
All right, so after the block in the back at practice this week, the Bucs hosted another group of exceptional athletes. Special Olympics Florida came down to watch the Buccaneers get ready for this week's game, and the Olympians got a chance to interact with Bucs players and even participate in some skills throughout the day. Nice move. So the Bucs are backed up all the way to their 14-yard line. And Ronald Jones in the backfield with Jameis Winston, the 2nd-round draft pick out of USC. Winston, far side, complete. And hit immediately at the 25-yard line is Adam Humphries. Darius Slay coming up and making the stop.
You can see Winston getting up to the line here. Greg started to jump in. They got 2:25 when that play started. Now you're going to try and get a snap before the 2-minute warning to save the 2 timeouts that you have in your pocket.
Winston up the seam and in and out of the hands of Humphries. And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning at 1:59 on the clock. Tampa Bay 13, Detroit 6. Back for the final 1:59 of the first half in a moment.
Ultra.
It's 13-6 Bucs with 1:59 to play. A reminder coming up, the Verizon halftime report. Melanie Collins sits down with Matt Patricia to talk about his thoughts on taking over as the Lions head coach. And we'll get a golf update from Jim Nance at the Northern Trust. All coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
Well, with 2 timeouts in your pocket, Coach, you still utilize the whole field. You don't have to get out of bounds. You don't have to make the dangerous throw. You got plenty of time. Dump it off if you have to dump it off. You got, basically, you have your whole playbook at your disposal because there's enough time in 2 timeouts.
Oh, for sure. You got everything right now. You can even run the football.
Winston over the middle. That's complete. Godwin. And Godwin out of bounds just across the 35-yard line. Ryan Fitzpatrick said of Chris Godwin to us yesterday that last year he was the most professionally complete rookie he's ever seen.
Yeah, that was a great compliment. Great compliment. Did a good job of making that guy miss and get out of bounds.
Well, Matt Patricia just can't be happy with that. Your job when you get that drag route underneath, you got to seal him. You can't let him get to the sidelines and get out of bounds. Force him to use a timeout or to get up on the ball and keep that clock running.
That pass is complete. Penalty marker flies. Meanwhile, O.J. Howard making another play for the Tampa Bay Bucs as he goes all the way inside the 35-yard line. Let's check the flag.
Pass interference, offense, number 80.
And O.J. Howard is the one guilty of the penalty.
Well, that's a shame because that was going to be a big explosive play in a 2-minute drive.
So why are all the Tampa Bay Bucs smiling?
Oh, man.
You know, we talked to both coaches, and all coaches in the league. You and I have talked about it, Coach, about just situational football. And this is one of those, you know, we saw the missed tackle, allowing him to get out of bounds. We see the middle of the field. You don't wrap up. You get a missed tackle. He goes down the middle. Now, obviously, he pushed off. That's why it was called back. But these are all situational football things when you're under 2 minutes that you've got to be able to make those plays.
Yeah, I wouldn't be talking too nicely to the referees right now about that call.
Winston on the move, going to run it, and slides down at about the 32-yard line. Clock continues to move, a minute and a half. Detroit with 3 timeouts remaining, Tampa Bay with 2. Winston running out of time and got hit as he let go, and it's incomplete. Devon Kennard, number 42. In on Winston.
Well, in the middle of the field was wide open. If he had had some time to get there, the tight end ran an out route. So because of that, they went man coverage underneath and just left a huge gap in the middle of the field. So,
yeah, if he had a little time right there, they had another chunk down the middle.
Winston 6 out of 8 for 60 yards in the second quarter here. And the touchdown.
Detroit's got to be thinking about calling a timeout if they don't make this first down.
Sunday, let him go.
Winston throwing, and that is complete and dropped midfield. Freddie Martino had it and lost it.
That's not how you make the team.
No, that's not how you make the team. And not only do you drop the football, but that would have been a first down and kept the drive alive. Instead, you drop the ball, so now the clock stops. Detroit's going to get the ball back with 1:10. By the time this play happens, they'll have about a minute left, maybe a minute 2 or 3, and they've got all 3 timeouts left. So
Agnew is deep. He'll make the fair catch. Attempt, dives to do it. At about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, you get the pass interference, which is a questionable call, and a drop ball, which stops one 2-minute drive. Now you get Matthew Stafford back out here with his all 3 timeouts. They're going for it again. With 3 timeouts, you can run the ball. You got a lifetime of time to get down here and get some points.
Same thing we just said with Winston. With a couple of timeouts and the 2-minute warning, you've got your whole playbook at your disposal right now for Matthew Stafford. 3 timeouts, that's forever.
Lefty.
Stafford has Theo Riddick alongside in the backfield. Riddick on the outside. Can't dance away from his tackler. That's about a 2-yard gain, and we get a flag.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 54. That's a 15-yard penalty at the end of the play, automatic.
So Levante David. We'll see how serious a mistake this turns out to be. Not much question about it.
Coach, think about the last few plays here for Tampa Bay. You mentioned it, the offensive pass interference that brings back a big play. Then you get a drop ball on 3rd down that would have kept things rolling. Now you get a face mask penalty that moves the ball towards midfield. Right now it's just a comedy of errors for the Buccaneers.
First down, Detroit. At their own 46. Stafford. Quick pass over the middle. Running room. Out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line is Hakeem Valles.
Hakeem Valles is an interesting guy. He came to Arizona with us as a wide receiver from Monmouth College, and really got tougher and tougher and grew and became a heck of a young tight end.
He's a wide receiver?
That's a wide receiver.
That's a big wide receiver.
Yes, he was.
6'3", 250. 49 seconds on the clock. Stafford right through the hands of the intended receiver, Riddick. 2nd and 10.
You don't see that very often, those two not connect, because this is the guy that he trusts probably the most in his offense. Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, but Theo Riddick is just a total mismatch in the middle of the field. Going back to that first play with 3 timeouts, you would tell guys, 1 timeout, get out of bounds. Get everything you can with 3 timeouts, and he ended up getting that 15-yard penalty.
Pulls it down, then the short pass inside the 40 to about the 37 is Riddick.
Well, we talked earlier about Matthew Stafford being able to throw from multiple platforms. that was darn near underhand.
I'm thinking, why aren't they calling timeout? They got 3 timeouts. They just lost about 20 seconds of valuable time right here.
3rd and 5. And he goes down at about the 46-yard line.
That's a young coaching staff with some clock management problems right there.
Yeah, and we talked to Matt Patricia about that, about understanding different game plan management.
We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Walmart.
Everybody, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
You saw big Gerald McCoy. He's the one who registered the sack. 7 seconds on the clock. And Sam Martin is going to attempt a 62-yard field goal. Oh, we got a timeout now. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Liberty Mutual.
You're turning onto the street when you barely clip a passing car. Minor accident, no big deal, right? Wrong. Your insurance company is going to raise your rate after the other car got a scratch so small you could have fixed it with a pen. Maybe you should take that pen and use it to sign up with a different insurance company.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise their rates because of their first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Welcome back. I misspoke. It's Matt Prater attempting a 62-yard field goal, and he pulls it to the left. It's going to come out of the end zone. This is Humphrey. 40, midfield, still on his feet. Humphreys for the touchdown.
No flags down, no flags down. Well, as a coach, that's what you worry about when you attempt those long kicks at the end of games and the end of halves. You've got a lot of big bodies out there. You get an athletic player to return it. You got a bunch of offensive linemen trying to chase him down.
That was a very questionable last 35 seconds of the half right there for Detroit.
109 yards for Adam Humphrey.
You got big offensive linemen trying to cover a kick, and nobody out there really that can tackle.
No time on the clock.
Well, we touched here at the end of the half just some of the mistakes that Tampa Bay has been making. But they put together a heck of a half. If you think about the number of injuries they had coming into this game and the question marks they had on the offensive line, and Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, goes 6 of 7. Jameis Winston comes in, goes 6 of 9 and throws a touchdown. They've looked very sharp on both sides of the football.
And they ran the ball pretty well.
Yes.
You know, really did a good job. That offensive line gives a lot of kudos. Those guys that got thrown in there.
Catanzaro. Extra point is good. And just like that, Tampa Bay grabs a 20-6 halftime lead. And let's get down to Melanie.
Coach, what a play there by Adam Humphries as time expired in the first half. What does a play like that do for your team heading into halftime?
Oh, that fires everybody up. You know, you're always working on situational plays like that because in the NFL, they always come up. And so to see those guys execute that was awesome.
With the wet conditions to start the game and your depleted offensive line, how pleased are you with what your team's been able to do in the ground game?
Yeah, very pleased. We did a good job. I mean, considering the injuries we have, our guys went out there and fought hard. I'm proud of them.
Thank you, Coach. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Melanie, thank you. And we come to the end of the first half with our score. Tampa Bay 20, the Detroit Lions 6. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. In Tampa as we get set to start the second half, the Bucs with a 20-6 lead over the Detroit Lions. Take a look at our first half highlight presented by DirecTV. Matt Prater of the Lions attempted a 62-yard field goal that came up short, and Adam Humphries from 9 yards deep in the end zone brought it back 109 yards for a touchdown. Last time a missed field goal was returned for a touchdown during an NFL regular season game was back in 2007 by Antonio Cromartie. That was also for 109 yards. As we welcome you back, Craig Gumbel, along with Bruce Arians and Trent Green. What did you think of the first half overall?
I thought it was a little shaky on both sides, but I really thought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did a good job of establishing a little bit of a run, got both quarterbacks protected well enough to have a good stats, scored points. That last play, that was more of a scoring chance for Tampa Bay than it was for Detroit.
Well, I think when you look at both quarterbacks for Tampa Bay, I thought they both played very well. I agree with you, Coach. I thought they did a good job running the football, especially considering 3 of their 5 starting offensive linemen didn't play tonight. So establishing that was a big part of Tampa's effectiveness. And then you go to the Detroit side. Twice they had 1st and goal inside the 10. Both times they came away with a field goal. So not enough production down the red zone.
So Detroit starts off the second half with possession of the football, and this will not be run out. In fact, it goes through and out of the end zone for the touchback. Let's go down to Melanie.
Well, Greg, I just spoke with head coach Matt Patricia. He wasn't pleased with his team's first half performance. He said, we really just have to get back to the basic fundamentals. We have to establish a running game in the second half and limit the penalties. But it's all about the fundamentals, and we have to finish on both sides of the ball, Greg.
Thank you, Melanie. You have Matt Patricia, obviously a new coach in a new situation, trying to get some things worked out. But he's getting pretty close to opening day now, and it's time to start seeing some results.
Yeah, they were awful shaky, especially at the end of that half. That was not very well planned or very well played.
Matt Castle, the quarterback, he's going to throw it right off the bat, far side of the field. Oh, excuse me, that's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I think Coach Patricia's a little upset with his offense. He's got the starters back in there to come out of the half, and he's going to make them play.
He's got Marvin Jones Jr. He's got LeGarrette Blount in the backfield. He's got Golden Tate. They're all out there. So it's you can see he had a clear message at halftime, and it was you guys are getting back out there and trying to get something going.
So Stafford now on 2nd and 10. With time over the middle, that's complete. And Golden Tate out across the 35 to the 37 and a first down.
When they're going up to a little bit, that picks up the first down. They're going to do a little hurry-up tempo, not necessarily a 2-minute tempo, but a hurry-up, no-huddle tempo.
This is LeGarrette Blount, and Blount with running room on the left side, pulls his way across the 45 and is right at the sticks. This could be another first down for Detroit.
I think Coach's talk might have worked. They come out a little bit livelier and a little more physical.
It is a first down. They move the chains, and Stafford again in a bit of a hurry up.
Incomplete. Coach, to your point, talking with Coach Patricia yesterday, he talked to us about setting a standard. Talking to the players yesterday, he talked about setting a standard. There's a standard we want to play at, and clearly his message at halftime is that's not our standard, because they're coming out with a different tempo, different attitude. You can see the way they're coming off the football, the way they're running the football. It's a much more physical team. Looks like a different team, actually.
This is LeGarrette Blount. Upended as he crossed midfield to the 48. In the first half today for the Lions. Field goal, a punt. And then a missed field goal.
There's that one right there, Coach. 92 yards, started inside your own 5-yard line. You get it down 1st and goal, you got to finish that drive.
Yeah, I mean, you're happy to get it off the goal line.
This time the near side of the field, and just dropped on the near side by Marvin Jones. That's a perfect pass by Stafford that just wasn't held on to.
Yeah, that was on the money. You got to make that play. And again, coach is not going to be happy. But they started out fine. They had an up-tempo going, looked really good, and all of a sudden they got real lethargic. You saw them walking back up to the line of scrimmage on the last 2 plays.
That's why you almost would think they'd keep that up-tempo. They had a little bit of rhythm going there, but then when they got an incompletion, that ball was batted down the line of scrimmage. They huddled up, and then the whole tempo changed. And you know, it's a much you come up with that catch, get the first down, and get things going again, but just not in the hands there for Jones to come up with.
Fair catch made by Sean Wilson at the 12-yard line. 13:23 to play in the third. New quarterback for the Bucs. Change of quarters, change of quarterbacks for Tampa Bay. Ryan Griffin, 6'5", 210 in his 5th season out of Tulane, is going to take over. And Trent, he's important for no other reason than for the first 3 weeks of the season, he's the backup. At least it would appear at this point right now.
Well, that's the way that things have lined up, is that he's going to be the backup for Ryan Fitzpatrick the first 3 weeks. You see, this is his 5th year in the league, so there's something that they like about him. Even though he has no regular season snaps, he's shown enough to stay on a roster.
And he'll throw for the first time. The seam, that's complete across the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's very, very important to see how this guy plays, because he's their number 2 quarterback. And I noticed that they kept most of those linemen in there with him, because there's no way they can afford to have this guy get injured in this ball game or next week.
Tanner Hudson on the reception, has not played a snap in a regular season game. Ryan Fitzpatrick was 6 of 7 for 82 yards in the first quarter. Jameis Winston 6 of 9 for 60 yards in the second.
Hey, flood. 40's Mike. Sunday. Go.
With time. And diving for the ball at the 35-yard line and making the grab is Justin Watson, the 5th-round draft pick out of Pennsylvania.
Well, and when talking about the different receivers, there's great competition on this Buccaneers team for the wide receiver depth chart, and Watson, one of those guys. People have been impressed with not only his route running ability, his ability to pick up the offense, and then you see there his sure hands.
Hey, 40's the mic. 40's the mic.
Hey, 44's the back.
Ready.
Ryan Griffin on a roll.
Blue 80. Who's that?
This time on the ground to the rookie running back Ronald Jones, who has nowhere to go. Anthony Zettel, Ricky Jean-Francois in his 10th season out of LSU. You're jealous of the way I said that, aren't you, Trent? You really are.
I am. Well, look for Ronald Jones to get more carries here in the second half. In the first half, he had that impressive catch over that outside shoulder running down the sidelines to set up a score for the Buccaneers. But he's going to get more touches on the ground this half.
On 2nd and 9. Down the sideline. Incomplete. Penalty marker flies from the middle of the field. Pass intended for Justin Watson.
Yeah, the defender held his hand down, his inside hand down. Good job by the back judge in seeing that and helping the side judge.
Number 23. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Darius Slay's the starting corner over there. One of the best coverage guys that the Lions have, but if you hook that arm, easy call for the officials to make.
Yeah, and he didn't count the back judge seeing him. The side judge couldn't see him, and that's one of the old tricks of the trade.
Hey, 44 is mine.
So it's a first down for Tampa Bay at the Detroit 28. The pitch for Jones. And that goes nowhere. Lost yardage back to the 31-yard line. Gerard Davis.
Yeah, the toss sweep in NFL.
Gerard Davis is an impressive young man, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Really, you know, what a great leader for your defense. What a guy to build your defense around.
By the way, Coach, you know, the officiating crew was in our hotel. I ran into a couple of them in the elevator. They wanted to give me a flag just to hand to you, just for old time's sake. On the move, the pass complete inside the 25 to the 20-yard line. Anthony Auclair.
Really impressed so far with Ryan Griffin. They're letting him come out and throw the football and move the offense.
Well, think about the throws that he's made. He made a nice touch throw in the middle of the field to the tight end to get things started. Then he laid the ball to the outside on an out route by Watson. He had a nice ball down the sideline to Watson. They got the pass interference call or the holding call. And then that time with the bootleg rolling out, throwing on the run, making an accurate throw. It looked very sharp for Ryan Griffin so far in the series.
Hey, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
Short yardage, 3rd and 2. And he'll throw for it. He'll go for the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Freddie Martino.
Well, that's the way you calm some nerves. If you're Ryan Griffin, you come in and calm the nerves of the coaching staff, that is. He's getting an opportunity. He comes in his first series. He makes a number of great throws up the field, utilizing all parts of the field, taking matchups, throwing touch throws, throwing balls on the run. Accurate throw for the touchdown.
Yeah, really sharp. You could hear him say 5-0, 5-0. He was changing the protection to make sure he had 5-on-5 to get that throw off.
Freddie Martino dropped a big one in the first half. Made a little bit of amends for it here. The kick is up and the kick is good, and with 9:51 to play in the third, Tampa Bay extends its lead. It's now 27-6 Buccaneers. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Buccaneers work with members of the Empowerment Plan, a Detroit company which gives single parents from local shelters training and employment as seamstresses. They are happy here in Tampa, 27-6 on that drive. How about Ryan Griffin? 64 yards, 88-yard drive, and it's 27-6.
Well, and that was a group of quarterbacks that all played well tonight and just trying to keep it going.
Well, the amazing thing, that was against the first-team defense.
Brandon Powell, no chance to return this one, and that'll bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. And that means Matt Castle comes onto the field. Talk about your veteran backups.
Well, we mentioned Ryan Fitzpatrick, his 14 years in the NFL with 7 teams. Matt Castle, this is his 14th year with 6 different teams. More than capable as you look at his touchdown interception ratio, the amount of wins that he's been able to produce in his career. It's valuable for the Lions to have a guy like this backing up Stafford.
He will start with Amir Abdullah in the backfield behind him. And Abdullah with the handoff. Some running room. And across the 30. Just about the 33, and we go down to Melanie.
Thanks, Greg. Well, Mike, this is considered the dress rehearsal game for the season. How'd you feel out there tonight? I know you took a pretty big hit.
I feel all right. The field was fairly wet. I feel good, though. You know, took a big shot, get me ready for the season.
You guys have quite the deep, elite group of wide receivers on this team. What makes this group so special?
Just our work ethic. And we have the talent. It's just, you know, there's a lot of talented wide receiver groups in the league, but, you know, we put in the work. So I'm looking forward to a very special year from the wide receivers.
Well, for the first 3 games of the season, you'll be without Jameis Winston, but you will have Ryan Fitzpatrick. Does that change your mindset at all at wide receiver going into those games?
Absolutely. And I don't think it changed any of our guys' mindsets. Our job is to go out there, get open, and make plays when the ball's thrown our way. And I think we'll do that. And Fitz is an experienced vet. He has a history of playing well. So we look forward to the start of the season, and we look forward when Jameis comes back, he'll be ready to go.
Mike, we appreciate the time. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, Melanie, thank you. And you know what? Every quarterback down there likes having Mike Evans on his team. 3rd and 2. Castle. That's good for a first down. Out to about, almost the 39-yard line. Brandon Powell, 5'8", 181-pound rookie free agent out of Florida with the catch.
Back to your point about Mike Evans, Greg, yes, quarterbacks do like you. If you got a big, fast guy with great hands, yes, that's his all quarterbacks' friend.
Yeah, you guys go, okay.
52's the tag!
On first down, this is Abdullah. And Abdullah to about the 43.
Interesting, they went with a silent count there. You could see him call out the plays and declaration there before the snap, but then he just did a tap, and it was a silent count.
Yeah, I don't know if they're working on that just because it's a preseason game, because the crowd noise isn't going to affect it at all.
You guys mentioned earlier, teams aren't going to show you everything in the preseason.
I've been really pleased with Tampa Bay because I think they've been doing a ton of audibling at the line of scrimmage to get their offense going.
Castle throws the quick pop, and again, that's complete, and that's a first down close to midfield. Brandon Powell once again.
Well, and I would agree with you, Coach. I think if you look at the two teams and the approach they've taken, I think Tampa Bay has done more of that. I think their offense, they've audibled more, they've changed protections, they've changed plays. We can hear it up here with some of the words and terms that they're using. And then defensively, we've seen numerous times where they're bringing secondary pressure, bringing linebacker pressure, trying to change things up with the look they're showing on defense.
Hey, 48, fellas, 48!
Monday. New set of downs for the Lions. Play fake, Castle. With time, throwing, and that is complete inside the 40, and that'll be another first down. Hakeem Valles. As we hit the 6.5-minute marks of play in the third.
And good play action there. Matt does a great job with the hard count, pointed out like it's going to be a run.
Well, and he slid in the pocket to avoid that pressure coming up the middle, and then the accurate throw to Valles, who was really tightly covered, but put an accurate throw to get the first down.
Hey, 52's your tag! Hey, 52!
This is Abdullah, and Abdullah running room to the 25. Amir Abdullah, we mentioned it earlier, the Lions' leading rusher last season with 552 total yards.
Abdullah, this is going to be, well, this angle, it's going to be a run to the left, but look at the blocking, the lanes that are here. He can pick one of two different lanes. Excellent job up front by the Lions. Abdullah taking advantage of it, getting it down to the 25.
That was an express lane.
Line it. We got it.
Castle gonna go for it all to the end zone, incomplete. Overthrew his man just slightly. T.J. Jones, the intended receiver.
Yeah, but a nice double move. He was open. You got to hit that one, but you can't miss those touchdowns right there. But they did on that play before. They did a great job of sealing off a weak side blitz in that running game. Really good job of the front side of that offensive line.
Well, and I think we've heard some of the audibles and some of the words that Castle's. I don't necessarily say audibles, but it's a directional thing that he's doing with the run game in terms of picking the weak link or the weak spot of the line and taking advantage of it.
Castle on 2nd and 10. Pulls it down, rolling, penalty flag flies, and that is incomplete on the sideline. We're going to get a hold against the Lions.
Holding, offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Penalty is on the rookie Tyrell Crosby, 5th-round draft pick out of Oregon.
So right now, if you're Detroit, you realize you're at 2nd and 20, and although you'd love to get the first down and get it down inside the 15, those kinds of things, you want to get it into better field goal range. You want to get a positive play on this 2nd down so that you can either go for it on 3rd, or you can try and get yourself more into a situation where field goal is a better opportunity.
Castle over the middle has the completion to Powell, and Powell inside the 25 to the 23.
Well, that's exactly what Castle did there. He took one look up the field. He didn't hesitate and go through a whole progression. It was one look up the field, check it down, get a chunk of the yardage back. Now it's a manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I hate playing soft zone coverage. I mean, that drives me crazy.
Especially on 2nd down.
You give a check down 15 yards just because you want to play soft zone.
Yep. I get it on 3rd because you can rally and make the tackle, but 2nd down, you're just giving up those yards.
Castle. And that's complete inside the 15 and inside the 10. Struggling for yardage is Michael Roberts, the 2nd-year tight end.
Again, good job by Matt sliding in the pocket and, again, finding a soft spot in the zone down here without a 4-man pressure. If you're going to play zone, that 4-man pressure got to get there.
Oh, and that's impressive by Roberts, recognizing the coverage that he had to the outside. He had just left the coverage to the inside. He sees the guy out in front of him, so he stops in that hole, recognizes that's where Castle's going to throw it, and he puts it on that back shoulder.
So here are the Lions, 1st and goal from the 10. Riddick to the end zone, touchdown.
Well, that's a way to finish the drive for the Lions. Well, that's a way to finish the drive for the Lions. They've been stalled a couple times earlier in this game, but watch the run blocking up front. Just great vision, great lanes, acceleration. Getting into the end zone.
Yeah, Riddick has a great nose for the end zone. He sees the end zone. He's going to pour. He's pouring it on quick. He's got great instincts, great quickness.
Impressive drive by Castle that time.
Line drive kick is good. Just under 4 minutes to play. As we pay our respects to the Queen of Soul. 27-13 Tampa Bay. Different team in that last drive. 11 plays, 75 yards in just under 6 minutes, capped by Theo Riddick's 10-yard touchdown run. Deep for Tampa Bay is number 44, Dare Ogunbowale. And he'll get a chance to return this one from about the 5. And out close to the 25. They will mark it at about the 25. Meanwhile, how about Ryan Griffin on that last drive that he was on the field?
He was impressive. He stood in there and made all the throws you want him to make. This time an out route to the outside, throwing on the run, hitting the tight end on the bootleg, and then the touch pass over the outside shoulder for the touchdown. 4 for 4, 64 yards and a touchdown on that his opening drive.
Let's see how he can improve on that. Sean Wilson in the backfield.
Sunday.
This is Wilson blocking ahead of him. Gets about 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5.
There's your guy Lidke. You've been talking about him at left tackle, playing guard. They bumped him out to left tackle. He's still in the game. He's been playing this whole game. He was lead blocking on that. He sealed the edge, created the lane. Back didn't even get touched for the first 4 yards.
He is playing his tail off now. He's doing a great job making this football team.
Ogunbowale on the field again, and now in the slot. Sideline. Incomplete. Almost making the catch was Justin Watson.
Detroit with 5-man pressure, man-to-man. And I thought it was a really good throw. I thought Watson had a chance to come up with that. Would have been a heck of a catch, but Detroit's starting to put a little pressure on him too.
Well, that's what you want Griffin to do. He doesn't have any regular season snaps, right? So you want to see how he handles different situations. He recognizes Detroit is going to rush 5. He's got man-to-man. He takes that alert to the outside, the one-on-one, and as you said, Coach, he put an accurate throw in there.
So Griffin looking at a 3rd and 5.
Hey, tire wheel. Wheel 5. 5, Sunday.
Griffin hit as he let go and couldn't make the completion over the middle. And so that'll bring the punting unit on.
Now, I really like what Coach Cutter's doing. You know, a lot of teams will play scared right here and be afraid to get this guy hurt. They're giving him good experience. They're putting him in situations to audible, throw the football, and see what he's really got.
Well, and that was excellent pressure that time by Robinson. Detroit bringing the pressure up the middle. Nowhere for Griffin to step up in the pocket, and he had to try dumping that off with the guy around his waist.
Brandon Powell back at his own 25-yard line. And we'll pull this one into the 30. And out across the 35 to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. 2:50 to play, 3rd quarter.
Listen.
Castle back to work. Play fakes. Looking, and ball tipped as he let it go. It falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Excellent pressure coming off the edge there by Harris. He's able to get his hand on the ball, or either hits the ball or hits the elbow. Yeah, he's able to hit the ball as it's coming out of Castle's hand. Lions are fortunate that wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, I really like the defensive line that Tampa has put together, and Brenton Buckner, who's come in here doing a heck of a job as a young coach coaching this defensive line, getting their hands up.
Hey, 43's your tag, 43.
This is Kerryon Johnson, and Johnson with running room. 2 yards shy of midfield, and we get a flag from the secondary.
Personal fouls, lowering the head and initiating contact with an opponent. It's a 15-yard penalty added at the end of the play, automatic first down.
Craig Rolstad did not give us a number. We think it might be Isaiah Johnson.
Well, that's the first one tonight.
That's our first one, right?
You know, and that new rule is huge. Well, that's a hard call.
Man, that's a tough one. It looked like he
looked like a running back.
Yeah, it looked like he was turning, trying to lead with the shoulder, but just with the contact coming from behind, it ends up being a helmet hit.
And Johnson to about the 31. Let's talk about that helmet rule. It's a foul if the player lowers his head to, again, as Craig Rolstad said, initiate contact against an opponent anywhere on his body. 15-yard personal foul. Defensive penalty is an automatic first down, and a player can be ejected depending on how the referee feels about it.
Well, that's the thing. It goes both ways. The running back can't lower his head either to initiate contact, and that looked what happened on the last play.
2nd and 5. Castle to this side, almost picked off. Devontae Harris defending Bradley Marquez and defending him well. It'll be 3rd and 5. Trent, is that one of those that you're a quarterback, you let it go and then you go, uh-oh?
Yeah, you're glad that your guy is able to knock that down, because that's real close to getting undercut and being a foot race the other way.
On 3rd and 5, Castle. And that is Hakeem Vallis, and incomplete. Vallis been pretty active in this offense tonight.
He really has. I mean, they're doing a good job, and he's really improved. He's making a name for himself. He's going to make the roster.
So this field goal attempt will be a 50-yarder. Ryan Santoso His penalty markers fly, and it hit the upright. So let's check the flag and see what this is all about.
Illegal formation. Defense, number 75. The 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Devontae Lambert guilty.
Well, now you got to decide if you're going to go for it on 4th down. It's going to be 4th and less than 1. It looks like well, the call there is he's covering up the center here. You can't have any part of your body on the center.
Yeah, that's a bad penalty, man. I mean, you cannot line up in that area right there. That's a really bad mental error.
Yeah, it wasn't Lambert, it was Nathan Pizzata. So now, on 4th and 1, they are going to go for it. LeGarrette Blount back into the backfield, and he's going to get the handoff. And that second effort might have gotten him a first down.
Well, there's the power and the leg drive we're talking about. There was a contact, a good yard in the backfield. It looks like he was going to be brought down. He kept those legs driving. Watch this initial contact, and you can see, look at that. He's almost 2 yards short of the sticks. The hit by Bola almost brings him down, but keeping those
just not strong enough. One man stronger than the other.
40 seconds to play here in the third. Blount again. Off the left side, running over people inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Trent, I find it odd that LeGarrette Blount's in this game right now.
Exactly.
I mean, he's proven he's a player. I don't know why he's in the end of a preseason game.
Well, yeah, the end of a preseason game, but you know, you think about you want your big back going in there, you know, on a 4th and 1. But as you mentioned, now clock winding down here, about to head to the 4th quarter, and your starting running back is still churning out the yards.
When we come back, it'll be 2nd and 2, and the Lions trying to put some points on the board. But we're at the end of 3 with our score: Tampa Bay 27, Detroit 13. Back to Tampa after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Welcome back to Tampa Bay, everybody. It was a busy first half for Matthew Stafford, but an even busier week. He and his wife, Kelly, welcomed their 3rd baby girl to the world on Thursday, August 16th. We finally found out her name today. It is Hunter Hope, and she and Mom are doing well. And if you think Matthew Stafford's tough, take a look at this video of his wife, Kelly, just 2 days before the baby was born, doing battle rope slams, sled pushes, and deadlifts in what she called Operation Get the Baby Out. I guess it worked, guys. The baby was born 2 days after she posted this video. Congratulations to the Staffords.
Melanie's favorite story the whole weekend, her favorite. This is Zach Zenner. Zach Zenner is a 4th-year running back from South Dakota State as we get the 4th quarter started. Let's go back to the discussion we were having during the timeout and just at the end of the 3rd quarter about LeGarrette Blount being in the game.
Yeah, like, I didn't know, like Trent said, was Kerryon Johnson hurt, or why wasn't Zach Zenner in there? Because that's kind of that's been his role for the last couple of years, to have LeGarrette Blount out there. Coach Patricia in the meeting said he wanted to establish a physical style, and I think that's the point he was making.
49's your tag, fellas, 49.
3rd and 1. Zenner. And Zenner gets the first down just inside the 15-yard line. And the Lions knocking on the door.
Well, again, you want to get these short. You want to win 100% of 3rd and 1s throughout the entire season. You never want to get stopped in 3rd and 1, especially if you want to be a tough physical football team.
Well, Mike Smith, the defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay, has done a heck of a job tonight. I know the Lions scored on their last time down in here, but for the most part down the red zone, that's when they really buckled up.
The pass to the outside, that is complete, and that's Brandon Powell, and Powell is out of bounds.
Really good job by Matt Castle right there, seeing that blitz and knowing he was getting ready to get one and put it right on the money.
Well, and the fact they didn't get knocked down, I thought for sure a lot of time those guys come clean like that. that ball can get tipped in the air. And talking about changing your arm angle a little bit, Castle dropped that arm a little bit just to wrap it right around the defender and get the completion.
2nd and 1 on this 11th play of the drive by the Lions. Zenner has the yard and looks for the end zone. He got as far as the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
I'm betting this next one's a run too, because they're trying to establish a mentality right here, and the young guys are doing a good job of it.
I'm guessing if it takes 4, I think you're going to see 4 of them. Unless, of course, a negative play or something happens. But hey, based on what we're seeing here in the second half and what they're trying to establish, I agree with you, Coach.
Zenner going to lose a couple of yards on the play.
Now it changes up a little bit.
There goes that theory.
A stoic Matt Patricia.
Well, you got a couple different options here. If you're keeping this, well, nope, they're changing personnel groups. They're bringing in some of the small, fast guys, taking out a couple of the big guys. So, going to spread things out here on 1st and goal from the 3.
So 2nd and goal from the 3, and Castle with the offense spread in front of him. Looks left, throws over the middle, touchdown. Bradley Marquez found the hole in the middle of the defense, and the Lions are in the end zone again.
Castle doing a great job with his eyes. He looks out to the left, and that's initially because he thinks there may be a safety blitz coming off. They had 2 guys stacked on the inside slot. They were disguising it like they were going to bring pressure. So what does Matt do? He looks out to the left to confirm that they're not bringing the blitz. But what that does is it holds the defender over there, allows the inside slot receiver to come inside, and he's able to get back to him, locate him, and make an accurate throw for the touchdown.
The extra point is good, and with just over 11.5 to play here in the 4th quarter, it's a 7-point game. Tampa Bay 27, Detroit 20. Back to Tampa in a moment. Pretty good drive by the Lions. 13 plays, 63 yards, resulting in the touchdown pass, and it's a 7-point game. Sean Wilson at the 5. Going in the other direction, and has just one man to beat on that side. Gains some pretty good yardage all the way out to about the 45-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. You know, injuries, as we know, are part of the game of football, but they hurt even more when they happen to the big-name quarterbacks, and it's nice to see a couple of them coming back. Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson, who was having an outstanding year last year before he went down, and of course Carson Wentz.
Well, you think about all 3 of those guys. Andrew Luck really has missed 2 years when you consider the injuries he's dealt with, and Watson was going to be Rookie of the Year, and now we look at some of the other positions who are coming back off of injury.
This is Ogunbowale.
Yeah, one of those injuries was real personal to me, I promise you. David Johnson, losing him in the first game last year was really hard. Really happy to see Andrew Luck back healthy, because the game needs, he's a great young player, one of the best rookies I've ever been around.
Well, I just would love to see him stay healthy. Think about the way his career started off. You were involved in it. It's just tremendous the type of player he is, and the frustration that comes with not knowing, hey, why isn't my shoulder getting any better? And now that it appears that he's got it back to where it needs to be, and being an effective quarterback once again.
That pass to the outside is complete. Worth noting that Ryan Griffin is still in the game at quarterback, even though we had expected that Austin Allen would be playing the 4th quarter. He's not in there, at least not yet. There's Austin Allen, a rookie free agent quarterback out of Arkansas.
Yeah, with the way the Griffin's playing, I think they wanted to give him one more series. You know, that first series where everything was perfect all the way down the field, and then last series not as effective. Give him one more look. I wouldn't be surprised if Allen comes in on this the next series, if there is a next series, based on the way these drives go.
So 3rd and 1. And Ogunbowale will get the call and get the first down. Inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Let's go down to Melanie, who is with Jason Pierre-Paul.
Thank you, Greg. Jason, first of all, how nice is it just to be back in your home state of Florida and where you played collegiately at USF here in Tampa?
Feels good. Feels good. Be back in Florida, be back in my old, college, stadium, Tampa Bay Stadium. It feels good. Feels great.
Your coaches and teammates have just raved about the leadership that you've shown and your work ethic. What was your mindset coming into this new team?
My mindset every year, man, to stay focused and play hard, really. I try to bring my best game that I can possible, that I can bring, which is going 110%. That's basically what I do.
This team made a number of offseason acquisitions on the defensive line. How's the chemistry so far?
Chemistry is good. We're getting there. We're not quite there, but we're getting there. It's going to take some time, but we played great out there today. A couple more mistakes that we did, but we're going to clean them up this off week. So,
thanks for the time, Jason.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, Melanie, thank you. Ryan Griffin continues to throw the ball well. First down. He'll throw it again to the outside, right through the hands of his intended receiver, Bernard Reedy.
Yeah, they had a perfect play. They had a blitz coming off the side. They had the quick screen to this receiver with a good blocker in front of him. Just got to make the catch and make the run. Got a little too anxious.
Yeah, that's a timely call right there, recognizing when the pressure's coming and just got to finish it.
Dirk Cutter in his 4th season here in Tampa. 8.5 to play. And on 2nd and 10, they'll keep it on the ground with Ogunbowale. And penalty marker flies.
Holding, offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty, replay. 2nd down.
Brad Seaton is guilty of the hold.
Sorry about that, Greg. I'm not sure how much freedom they're giving Griffin at the line of scrimmage, because I came up and saw the bodies up at the defensive line of scrimmage. I said they got man-to-man press on the outside. I kept waiting for him to check into something with either a fade or comeback, slant, something to take advantage of the man-to-man.
It seems to be been doing that all night.
Right.
He might be with some younger guys now that they don't trust.
Right. And you're trying to keep the clock running, so keep it on the ground, try to keep that clock moving.
So it's 2nd and 20, and play fake. And Griffin throws, and that's complete to Ogunbowale out of the backfield to the 35.
Good job there. He's looking for the big, deep crossing route off the play action. Wasn't there, just dump it to the back and pick up 8 or 9.
Well, that was the thing we talked about earlier with Castle. When he had 2nd and long, don't try to press up the field. Look deep and hit your check down, get back into a manageable 3rd down. Now, Tampa Bay didn't pick up as many yards as Detroit did earlier on their check down, but what a smart decision there. Try and make this a more manageable 3rd down and also getting it back near field goal range.
Yeah, get 5 yards here and get a field goal.
They need the 23-yard line for a first down. And a whistle.
First charge timeout, Tampa Bay.
So Tampa Bay gets a timeout, stops the clock with 7:26 to play here in the 4th.
By Verizon. Now go mix and match family unlimited plans. Walmart. Discover more ways to shop at Walmart today. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's a Tampa skyline that wasn't very visible along around 7:30 this evening. Too much fog, too much rain, too much stormy weather. Welcome back, everybody. Greg Gumbel, Bruce Arians, Trent Green. This Tampa Bay quarterback battle is an interesting one to watch. It's really not a battle because you pretty much know what Dirk Cutter wants to do, but he's got some good options.
Well, the thing that's great about it is because the fact that Ryan Griffin is playing so well. Ryan Fitzpatrick played very well. Without Jameis Winston the first 3 weeks of the season because of the suspension, with the way Griffin's playing, that's giving you some confidence about your backup going into the start of the season.
Griffin with a 3rd and 12 here. He throws outside. That is complete. And looking for first down yardage is Sean Wilson. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. About a yard or 2 short.
Surprisingly, they catch Detroit in man-to-man and get a little slip pick play out to the back in the flat. An easy throw for Ryan Griffin right there.
Well, the good thing about it, when you think about the play call that happened, before the timeout was called, Detroit was going to rush 3 and drop 8 into coverage. You can see it. That's why Dirk Cutter called the timeout. He's like, I don't have the right play called. He stuck with it, anticipating that Patricia was going to change things up, and it worked in their favor, giving them a manageable field goal.
So Catanzaro now from 42 yards out, and it is good. That's a big 3 on the board for Tampa. Extends their lead to 10, 30-20 with 7:13 to play in the fourth. 7:13 to play in the fourth quarter, and a 10-point lead for the Tampa Bay Bucks, 30-20. Did you think it was all that important to win a preseason game?
Yes, this one especially. And I thought it was a big kick for Chandler Catanzaro right there. You know, they've had some big kicking problems here in the past, and he can solidify that. He's really talented.
This one will sail into and through the end zone for the touchback. You know, we were talking amongst ourselves yesterday about Matt Patricia taking this Detroit job, and it had to make it easy because Matthew Stafford was his quarterback, and something that a coach likes to see is a talented quarterback that he's in a team that he's about to take over.
Yeah, when you have a couple options, you know, you really want to go with the best quarterback and the best defense, but when you look at this list, how did these other guys get fired? I mean, you're looking at some of the best quarterbacks in the league. Only Steve Wilkes had to go out and get Sam Bradford. Steve Keim did a great job of getting Sam Bradford and Mike Glennon.
This is Jake Rudock, the number 3 quarterback for the Lions, and that's out of bounds at the 30-yard line with a completion to Marcus Lucas.
Well, and speaking of quarterbacks, Coach, that wasn't the same situation when you took over Arizona. You see that laundry list of quarterbacks that were out there? That was a little different for you.
We had to go in and fill the whole room.
That's incomplete. At the line of scrimmage, Jarrell Worthy batting it down.
A lot of talk this week about who's going to be the number 2 quarterback in Detroit, and you know, Jake Rudock has moved the team really well last year, but you know, Matt Castle's got history with Matt Patricia in New England. That year Tom Brady got hurt, he did a heck of a job for them, so I would look and think they're leaning that way.
Well, especially the way he performed here tonight.
Time to throw deep down the sideline and incomplete. Pass intended for Brian Brown, a first-year receiver out of Richmond. How about cut down day? Was that tough for you, Coach?
Oh, the hardest day of my life. It kills you because you're normally cutting guys that you love to coach.
This ball is going to bounce and roll and out of bounds near the 25-yard line. And that's exactly where it'll be, and where we'll pick up with 6:36 to play in the fourth. Well, Coach, tell us about this hazing thing and how far some of the coaches let it go. Obviously pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, haircuts and eyebrows, they're not safe in a lot of locker rooms for rookies.
That's Givens Price, a first-year lineman from Nebraska. Ogunbowale in the backfield. He gets the handoff and gets a couple of yards. It'll be second down.
Austin Allen, the rookie out of Arkansas, now getting in the game, getting some snaps.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Ryan Griffin. I thought he did a heck of a job when he was in there tonight. He really showed a lot of poise and accuracy.
8 of 11, 100 yards, touchdown. Managed things very well.
Yeah, he made a nice statement for himself.
Play fake this time, and hit as he let go of the ball, and it's incomplete. Anthony Zettel, who's made a couple of plays on defense for Detroit tonight. Lowering the boom.
Well, we talked about the number of injuries that the Buccaneers have on the offensive line. They had a guard playing tackle for most of the game. Now those guys are out of the game, and Detroit taking advantage of it on that one.
Yeah, if the Bucs go on and win, I'm giving the game ball to Mike Littke. Man, he went out from a guard, played tackle, and played about 50 snaps at tackle, left tackle.
This is Wilson. And Wilson, forward progress will be marked about the 32. You know, we talked about this game before we got to the stadium, and we thought that Detroit pretty much had the momentum coming in. They're the ones that needed a preseason win because they came in at 0-2. It was the Tampa Bay team that's riddled with injuries, just hadn't worked out that way.
Yeah, I thought there would be a greater sense of urgency after talking with Coach Patricia and finding out what he was all about, just the preparation going into this game. You mentioned the injuries that Tampa Bay was dealing with. I really thought they would come in here, but give credit to Mike Smith early on. His defense keeping the Lions out of the end zone, holding them to those 2 field goals in the first half.
Here's Brandon Powell, and Powell finds running room, squeezes up the middle, and here he goes off to the races. Can they catch him? They will not. Brandon Powell for the touchdown. 80 yards.
That's Detroit saying, hey, guys up in the booth, not so fast.
Exactly.
It may be a 10-point game, but now it was a 10-point game.
That puts a whole lot of pressure back on that Tampa Bay offense. They got to eat up the rest of this clock.
And I was about to say, a really interesting last 450 of the game.
Well, and they're coming in to go for 2. They're not looking to tie this thing up. They're looking to go for 2 right now. That'll determine whether or not, when they get the ball back, if they can go down and try for a field goal, or if they want to, have to end up trying to get in the end zone.
Got a couple of touchdowns for distance tonight. Humphreys with a 109-yard missed field goal return. And now the pass into the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Brian Brown.
Spacing not too good on that play, Trent. I mean, 2 guys are within 3 yards of each other. It looked like went through both of their hands.
Double linebacker blitz. They went to man-to-man coverage. Mike Smith not sitting back. He brings both guys shooting the gaps in the middle of the field, and tight coverage, but hits him right in the hands, has a chance to bring it in.
Yeah, when you're the 4th, 5th, 6th receiver, you got to make plays in these games. And the other thing is, you got to be on special teams. That's where you're going to make the team. But again, you got to wow the coach with a play like that.
And speaking of that, that's what we saw earlier in the game. Josh Robinson, who's listed as 3rd corner, he's the one on that punt that was able to knock the ball out of the end zone, and it ends up getting down at the 3-yard line. So if you're that 3rd corner, the 5th receiver, you've got to find ways to make an impact on special teams if you want to make this roster.
Yeah, and it was great job by Powell right there. He's just showed that he can be a punt returner. Also helped you, and they left him in the slot. They were bragging about him in the meetings with us.
He was one of the young guys they mentioned. Both players and coaches talking about him.
Sean Wilson will get a shot from his own 4. And is brought down at about the 25, the 26-yard line. 4:47 in regulation. I imagine coaches aren't big fans of overtime in the preseason.
Oh, that's a taboo. That's a total taboo. There's no such thing. You're going for 2 or you're throwing for Hail Marys. You're not kicking field goals.
Hey, regular season, they're kicking the extra point there because they're trying to get the field goals.
So again, Austin Allen in at quarterback, and this is Ogunbowale. And he's going to lose a couple of yards.
Now, if he snaps the ball with more than 1 or 2 seconds on the clock, I'm the coach on the sideline. I'm going to chew him out. This is called milk it time. You take that thing all the way down. You stay in the huddle till 15 seconds and snap it with 1 second on the clock.
talk about weekend plans in the huddle.
Yeah. They already broke the huddle too soon.
They're going to be in their stance a long time.
Well, on the move and throws it away and stops the clock.
Well, that's a double whammy. He snapped it with 12 seconds left on the play clock and then stop it with the throw out of bounds.
Now you got yourself in 3rd and long.
And you take a hit.
Oh,
yeah.
Strike 3.
See there, what I'm doing on 2nd down with 2nd and long is I'm like, guys, I'm going to hard count. You keep them in as long as you can, and you're like, I'm gonna try and get a cheap 5 yards here, get it back, and instead they snapped it with 12 seconds.
Sean Wilson.
Man, those are all just little game management things. As a quarterback coach, as an offensive coordinator, you're having those discussions with your quarterbacks, situational offense. You know, those are all teaching points and coaching points.
Yeah, they'll make a good point to the veteran players what these younger guys are doing right and wrong in tomorrow's meetings.
Brandon Powell, he of the 80-yard return a few minutes ago, standing back at his own 30-yard line.
I might kick this one out of bounds.
I was going to say, you think you're going to kick it to him again, or they did.
Yes, they did. Powell at the 25. Up the sideline and out of bounds at about the 40. You know, part of this season, too, is going to be talking about whether these guys are going to report and how long it's going to take. Le'Veon Bell, Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, and Earl Thomas.
Yeah, it's really interesting because you hear a lot of trade talk about Khalil Mack and Earl Thomas. You know those other 2 guys are going to be showing up sooner or later.
Yeah, if you listen to the Rams, they keep saying that it's going to get a done deal. There's good communication going on, and Le'Veon Bell, this same thing he went through a year ago. Showed up in time to be ready for the opener.
That's Powell. Sometimes that's the master plan, isn't it? Don't have to go through those.
Yeah, for
those early workouts,
for running backs and saving their legs.
2:50 to play. Lions looking for a touchdown that would win the game. That short pass is complete and across midfield, and looking for the sideline, but not quite getting there in time is Dwayne Washington.
Well, not quite getting to the sideline, but getting the first down. He was going to be tackled 3-4 yards short of the sticks, and just keeping those legs driving, able to pick up the first down.
Quick pass. Forward progress will be marked close to the 40-yard line. Marcus Lucas pulling it in.
Well, nobody's downfield. The receivers, that wasn't a deep route. So now with 2:14 left, you're going to be able to get another snap off here without wasting a timeout before the 2-minute warning.
Detroit has 3 timeouts remaining. Coming over the middle and all alone is complete. Into the 32-yard line is Chris Lacey, the rookie out of Oklahoma State. And we get the 2-minute warning at 1:59.
Yeah, again, Trent, they're just playing that soft zone, giving them dink and dunk throws. It's about 35 yards of offense with you only have to throw the ball 5 yards each time.
Well, it's just too much time. Too much time left on the clock. That's a different defense if you're sitting there with a minute left, but with over, close to 3 minutes when they got the ball back and all their timeouts.
And tackling is a lost art.
Right.
I mean, you saw it right there twice. They should have been 3 and 4 yard gains, and they end up getting almost out of bounds and getting first downs. I would be surprised if Mike Smith doesn't dial something up here quick.
Mike Smith, defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay.
Well, when we talked to both coaching staffs about it, that's a delicate line, and you're going to have to answer that. How did you do that? Because you want to go live in training camp. You want to utilize the padded practices because there's not that many anymore. So you want to be physical and get your guys ready for the season, but then you also jeopardize potentially getting somebody hurt. We talked to both coaches about it. They're like, listen, you have to work on those things. How did you handle it?
Well, at this time in the game, I would just look at James Betcher. It'd be cover 0 every snap. Till the game is over, blitz them all.
Right.
First down. Good pass out of the backfield is complete and out of bounds close to the 25-yard line is Washington. Washington is a third-year back out of the University of Washington. Again, Detroit with all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
You can still run the football. 154 and 3 timeouts. You can do whatever you want.
Through the middle, again, wide open.
You don't have to when you only throw 5 yards each time.
And Brandon Powell to the 20. And a first down. Clock continues to move, 1:40.
They got to dial up something, don't they?
Oh, gosh, you got to get out of this on defense.
Time to throw. Another short pop. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Washington. That'll stop the clock at 1:27.
The one thing about playing the zone, your defensive line's tired right now. They've rushed the passer about 7 or 8 times, and when they're throwing it that quick, they're not going to get home. The only chance is to bat a ball down, so blitz them. Let's go.
By the way, it's a lot easier to call that from up here than down there.
Oh, yeah. Blitzing never was hard for me.
Lots of time to throw. The pass is complete. Inside the 15, close to the 10 is Marcus Lucas. 1:15, and the clock continues to move.
Well, with those 3 timeouts in your pocket and a minute left, I would almost get an inside run here. You're probably going to get, as tired as those defensive linemen are, and they're staying in the same defense.
1 minute to play. Going to throw for it. Going to run for it. 10, sliding down inside the 5-yard line. And
that was a good QB draw call, except it wasn't.
Exactly.
Good recognition by Ruddock to take off up the middle, realizing that they went out in that zone again and had an opening in the middle.
Ruddock throwing, goal line, touchdown. That is Marcus Lucas.
There came the blitz, and they beat it. They went all-out pressure, and good job by Jake Ruddock.
Well, Ruddock said not so fast on giving the backup job to Matt Castle. I'm going to come in here and put together a drive of my own. And
yeah, he did the same thing last week. He did a great game-ending drive for a touchdown.
Ruddock was impressive on that. He didn't try forcing the ball over the field, took what they gave him underneath, and Tampa Bay kept playing that soft zone, allowing the underneath throws, and when needed to, took off and ran to pick up the first down and throw the touchdown.
And what you guys are saying, took advantage of a tired defense.
Yes.
This is going to make a flight back to Detroit a little bit more pleasant for Matt Patricia's guys. Their first lead of the game. They trailed by 21 in the second quarter. And began to put things together here in the fourth.
Yeah, really good job by their young guys, and a poor job by Tampa Bay in not converting some first downs and killing the rest of that clock when they had a chance.
Well, and the special teams play. The punt return for the touchdown. You know, here's the thing, though. A lot of teams around the NFL only keep 2 quarterbacks. And we're in a situation here with Winston being suspended the first 3 games. You know Tampa Bay is going to keep 3. They're going to keep Griffin and have him as the backup for Fitzpatrick. But now you're looking over at the Detroit side, and you're like, okay, we bring in Castle to be the backup because we got that veteran presence. But now all of a sudden, Ruddock plays as well as he has the last couple of games. They maybe only wanted to keep 2, but you better not try and sneak him through to the practice squad or something.
He's played too well.
There's going to be a team that comes along and try and snags him. So as a young player, you're playing to make your roster ultimately, but you're playing for the other 31 teams and hopefully, get picked up and make a spot.
Obviously, it's a different situation here in Tampa with the situation with Jameis Winston.
Different.
But is that a philosophical thing, 2 quarterbacks as opposed to 3, or maybe you just have too many good position players elsewhere?
Well, that's what it comes down to. Who am I cutting? Who's the 53rd guy getting cut to keep this third quarterback, and does he really have a future?
Well, and also the injuries that are at other positions where maybe you have to keep an extra linebacker, an extra defensive back because of injury.
That pass incomplete at the 40-yard line, intended for Bernard Reedy.
Oh, and by the way, you got to keep it all under the salary cap. You got to balance all that out and figure out, hey, we got to keep some extra money in case we get a guy injured during the season. You got to bring somebody in. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's not a simple thing. And Coach, you had to deal with cutting a lot of players over the years. That's a difficult thing to do.
Allen on the move, throwing, and that is complete. Short of the 45-yard line and knocked out of bounds.
That was a rope.
Tanner Hudson with the catch. 18 on the clock.
Need about 20, 25 yards for a field goal attempt here, and they've got their 2 timeouts.
You really going for a field goal here?
I wouldn't, but you never know. They played so well, you wouldn't want to lose this game.
Austin Allen, the Bucs quarterback. Up high, too high, incomplete. Intended for number 85, Bobo Wilson.
This is one of those scenarios now, Trent. You got your 13 seconds. You need a huge chunk, so you do have a timeout, so you can work the middle of the field, but you also can work 3 guys down each sideline, 2 guys back in on the backside to try to get a chunk play and get a timeout. Get another play run to try to get that field goal and use that last timeout.
Yeah, I'd almost go trips to one side of the field, have one guy cross all the way across, see if he can't draw the attention of the safety, work another guy up the seam and another guy up the sideline. That way you're forcing the safety, forcing them to pick which guy you're going to cover and hopefully get a one-on-one matchup you can take advantage of.
And Tampa Bay is going to use a timeout right here.
Yeah, the tight end lined up off the line of scrimmage, and it was going to be a penalty, and they knew it.
So what do you think Matt Patricia's point of emphasis is when he takes his Lions home?
We got to be sharper to start ball games. I thought Tampa Bay starters beat Detroit starters pretty solidly tonight, and in all 3 phases. And they cannot be happy with the way they performed down here tonight.
On the flip side, Trent, I would think that Tampa Bay has to feel pretty good about themselves considering their injury situation.
I think you have to be happy with the way all 3 quarterbacks played. Some of your backup offensive linemen. We take a look at the Lions' schedule here to start off the season. They got the Jets and got to travel to San Francisco and then New England at home. And then at Dallas, Green Bay. So it's not an easy start to the season for Detroit. We brought up the challenge that Tampa Bay has at the beginning of the season, but Detroit has a tough task as well.
2nd and 10, 13 seconds on the clock. Austin Allen, good protection. Gonna go deep, has a man open. Had him turn the wrong way. It was Bernard Reedy.
They had their chance, Trent. They had him confused in the bunch formation.
I'm sitting here home.
And he had him right there.
I was holding my breath on that one. I couldn't believe he was able to get behind the defense like that and have that type of leverage in that situation. The number one thing is don't let him behind you.
That's it. Stay as deep as the deepest.
7 seconds on the clock. Under pressure, got rid of it. It is on the middle and intercepted. And sliding down with the football is Tracy Walker. And that will bring it to an end. Matt Patricia, his first win as a head coach. And I'm thinking with preseason, you'll take it anyway.
Yes, indeed. There's no greater feeling to get that first one.
33-30 is our final score here in Tampa. And once the weather moved out, all kinds of action on the field. 33-30 Detroit is the final. Coming up next, it's your late local news. For Trent Green, Bruce Arians, Melanie Collins, and the rest of our CBS Sports crew here in Tampa, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Raymond James Stadium. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 53. Good night, everybody.
CBS